Have y'all heard about Swannanoa Palace? It's haunted, allegedly, and located in Afton, Virginia. Swannanoa was originally built in 1912 by James Dooley for his beautiful wife and love of his life, Sarah Sally O'May, and she was from Stanton, Virginia. So before Sarah and James got married in 1869, James decided that he was going to pursue being a lawyer. But he had to pause his education because he got the notion that he was going to go fight for the Confederacy in the Civil War. But Lord, that didn't work out from old James because that joker ended up getting wounded in the Battle of Williamsburg on May 5th of 1862. And not to even top that joker off, old James here ended up being a prisoner of war. And the only way that he got out was because the Union and the Confederacy decided to swap soldiers like on a trade. It's kind of bad. But then James was free, and what did he do with his freedom? Well, he went to pursue his education, become a lawyer, dabbled in the railroad, and he also became something in legislative. But then he lived his days out with Miss Sally herself, who had an affection for swans. And James made sure she had everything she wanted in her vacation house, which was Swannanoa, and she named that after the swans that she loved so much. They put swans everywhere. They had ornate wood designs and woodwork. They even had some special ordered marble from Italy come in. And let's not forget the most beautiful piece of artwork that he brought in was a 4,000 piece hand painted Tiffany glass window, which was supposed to be the largest in America, that resembled his beautiful wife, Sally. Ta-da! And like everything happens in the world, tragedy struck, and James passed away from a stroke in 1924. And a few years later, old Sally followed suit. The mansion was left to James's two sisters, who would eventually sell the place to Valley Corporation of Richmond, who would turn it into a country club. And then, during Prohibition, they secretly, allegedly, made spirits of their own. And even governors would come in and the government people to partake. Well, here came the Great Depression in. And Lord, was that a hot mess because it got so bad here at the country club that the sisters had to take over the property again. But it was sit vacant for 17 years when, in 1949, a very famous sculptor and painter and a man that was known to be a really wild free thinker came in named Walter Russell. And he took over the place and put a 50-year lease on it. The man, the myth, the legend. And old Walter here, well, he had been in a very long relationship with his wife for a long time. But somehow he just divorced his wife and he married his new wife, who was really younger than him, and her name was Leo. I could be saying it wrong. I say things wrong all the time. And they would turn the palace into the University of Science and Philosophy. Walter and his wife were really big free thinkers, and they wrote many books about how they didn't like war or atomic bombs or people being exploited to radioactivity, which I can't blame them there. They also had beliefs that were really close to the Illuminati. Walter believed in one world order and nobody should be run by one government. And he pretty much preached this all the time at his university. And many famous people visited this place. Queen Elizabeth was there, a bunch of presidents. It got even crazier because a pope visited there. Makes you wonder about that Illuminati, huh? Walter passed away on May 19th of 1963, and he left the whole university to his wife, and she took over the family business. She ran this university until she pretty much ran out of funding and the school fell into disrepair. But let's talk about Leo. She had an obsession with aliens, with portals, and with spirituality. And it's even said that there were some rituals taking place on this property where they tried to open up all kinds of portals and doors. And people claim they still see aliens flying over this place all the time and on Afton Mountain. Not to include skinwalkers, Bigfoot, and all kinds of other cryptids that just seem to roam this joker over. But in 2012, there was a ritual that was recorded that took place here. It was called the 1111 Doorway Opening Ritual, and it was done by a group called Starborn. It's supposed to open some kind of door to a portal of different dimensions that are supposed to bring in the greater good. But with all that happening, let's go on to the spirits that are haunting this place. Many people visiting the site have reported seeing James Dooley himself haunting all over the property, but mainly in the main building, including his wife Sally. And Sally has been seen walking along the corridors, and she has been recorded speaking as well. Many ghost hunters and paranormal investigators have been on this property and said that they've got a lot of EVPs of Miss Sally herself speaking, James speaking, servants, as well as groundskeepers. And there is a theory on the cats that are on this property. They do not go up to the third floor. They won't do it, and you don't want them to because apparently Miss Sally herself didn't like cats, wasn't a cat person, and now she just scares all the cats off the third floor. And I'm not sure 100% on this last spirit that I'm going to tell you about, but there's a spirit of a servant that is still seen because I believe he fell from one of the towers and he was unalived. Like I said, this place offers all kinds of paranormal investigations. They do tours, you have to book it yourself. And let me know if you've ever been there. You know where to do it, right over there. And correct me if I was wrong on the servant because I think that's what happened. I just wasn't sure. If you like this video, y'all know what to do. And don't forget to follow me for more paranormal stories.